Hi everyone, my name is Liam and I'm here to talk to you about the philosophy course which I teach here at UWC Dilijan. The first question, of course, is what is philosophy? Now this turns out to be a pretty tricky question to answer and I can't answer it fully here. The first thing to note, I think, is that philosophy is the world's oldest discipline. Humans have been doing philosophy for a very long time, and so a lot of the philosophy that we'll be doing in class is going to be old, as well as new philosophy. The word literally means the love of wisdom, but I think maybe a better definition of it today would be that philosophy is the study of ideas. Now, philosophy doesn't just study any old ideas. Philosophy in particular studies big ideas, ideas that are very difficult to answer and very important and meaningful for us as human beings. Here is an example then of the kind of philosophical argument that we might encounter in this class. It's going to come in three parts. Part one, when you're faced with a decision, any old decision, you always choose the option that appeals to you the most. Because why would you choose an option that didn't appeal to you? You'll always choose what appeals to you most. Second point, what it is that appeals to you is defined by your past. In other words, your experiences, your upbringing, maybe your nature or your genes or something like that. That's what defines your personal taste. That's what defines the choices that you're going to make. Therefore, the decision of whether or not you're going to take the IB philosophy class is already determined. It's already decided. It's decided by your past. So in philosophy class, we might ask, what is wrong with this argument? Because it might feel a bit surprising because you don't know yet whether you're going to take philosophy. Or if you do, then you can just substitute taking philosophy for something else that you don't know, right? There's a lot about the decisions that we make that feels clouded from us, that feels uncertain. So what is wrong with this argument? Was one of the premises wrong? Was the first 2 points, were they wrong? Or was the conclusion wrong? Were we wrong to arrive? Was our reasoning wrong? Or is in fact the whole thing correct? And in fact, when you feel like you don't know what you're going to choose, when you have that feeling of indecision, maybe that feeling itself is actually an illusion and all of your decisions are already determined. That's an example of a philosophical argument or a philosophical question. In this case, by the way, this is the argument of determinism. It's a philosophical position called determinism. And that's the kind of thing that we will be discussing in philosophy class. So what does the IB philosophy curriculum cover? It's a great curriculum which gives us a lot of diversity, but also a lot of time to explore individual topics. There are 5 things that we'll cover. Number 1 is the IB core theme, which is what is a human? That's where we will study questions like this about freedom as well as consciousness, identity, those kinds of things. Second is epistemology. Epistemology means the study of knowledge. Now this might sound similar to TOK, but it's actually a great component of the course which adds a lot on top of the TOK course. There's no redundancy here at all. It's one of the highlights, in fact. Third is political philosophy. So philosophy isn't only abstract and personal, it's also about humans together, societies, cultures, governments, justice, that kind of thing. Then we will read a philosophical text in full, which is The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir. This is a great work of philosophical feminism. And actually, we don't read quite the whole thing, we read about half of it, but it's still a lot. And then fifth, for HL students only, we will do a component on what is philosophy. So the philosophical study of philosophy itself. What will you learn in philosophy? Well, the first thing is we'll be studying a lot of the history of philosophical thought. So you'll see how philosophies developed over time and where philosophy is today. You'll also learn how to construct your own philosophical arguments and develop your own philosophical ideas. This involves, number 3, quite a lot of reading of philosophical texts, analyzing them, and also writing your own philosophy essays. And hopefully one of the things you'll learn is some profound truths about existence and reality itself. Although I can't promise that because, of course, what is truth itself? That's a difficult one, but a lot of people do find that philosophy helps them a lot to know themselves and to make good decisions in life and to get the most out of life. So I think there is a lot to be gained from philosophy. What are the challenges of philosophy? Some of the texts we'll read will be difficult, and writing philosophical essays is difficult. And of course, developing your own ideas in philosophy is difficult. But I don't mean to discourage anybody really from taking this course. The texts we'll read will be difficult, but there's lots of support for them, and the readings aren't going to be terribly, terribly long. Writing philosophical essays will start right from the beginning with writing skills. So if you've never written philosophy essays before, it's absolutely fine. If you've never taken philosophy, if you don't even know what it is, you can still join. We'd love to have you. It's a great course. You need to put in a lot of work, but students tend to get a lot out also. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in class.